I don't know what they felt or dreamed or longed for. I do know that feeling, at least occasionally, of a void, that things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Feeling that maybe there are things on some horizon not yet dawned that we might go ahead and take a step out in the darkness to pursue. I love the fact that the Magi saw this miracle in the cosmos, something different in the sky, and went on their way, and then somewhere in the midst of their journey said, you know, let's forget about this wonderful thing that is different and inspiring and that moved us to begin in the first place. Let's just go to Jerusalem. Let's just go follow the well-worn path, and we'll ask when they get there. We'll ask the people who know about these things what it is that we should be following. Right in the middle of their adventure, they stop and say, let's be more reasonable about this. Instead of following the sign that God has placed before them, instead of doing the thing that put them in awe in the first place, they said, well, let's be reasonable. Let's stop for a moment and ask the people that are supposed to know. And so they follow the well-worn path to Jerusalem instead of being guided by this star to Bethlehem. They went to the expected place. And after they left there, they were reconnected again to what mattered to them, to what was important to them. We don't know what finally happened to them. We do know that they do find themselves in us. They do find a different way. They are a people who, in some way, somehow found the Christ child and had to go about their world along a different road. Epiphany is when it dawns on us that God does and God can and God will continue to come to us in ways we might never have predicted on our own. In ways sometimes that we feel on our own and check in with the faith community to see if that's the best way, and then are free to go again, to follow that impulse, that wisdom, that guidance that comes from something beyond our own measures. Last year on this Sunday, I was at Federated Church in Chagrin, and Reverend Throckmorton had talked about this experience he'd had the Sunday after Christmas. There was a family that had been visiting their family on Christmas Eve, and they had come, and he was walking around Chagrin, and he ran into this family, and he said it was an uncomfortable conversation. He said, the mother of the family said, I kept wondering why your church would have such a prominent rainbow banner displayed outside the church. I've been taught all my life that it's wrong. Then I thought about a young man I work with in our animal shelter who is gay and who's been told by his family never to come back. He's been told by his church to never come back. She said, my teenage daughter said to me last night, Mom, that banner isn't a political statement. It's not a volley in the culture wars. It's a message to your teenage friend that says, you're welcome here. And don't you think that he needs to know that? Woman paused for a moment, and she told Reverend Throckmorton, I've done a lot of growing in these last few days. Time to grow. A time for a new path. A time for a new season. time to be able to check in with a church family, a church community, to be inspired in our own ways and to be able to check in, to know that we have a future with one another, a place to share our joys, our laughs, and our tears, a place to experience forgiveness unfolding, to feel the tingling of a higher power somehow in our midst, and have that confirmed with the warm touch of God in the flesh. We have the blessing of being a part of what God is doing in the world, the challenge of considering how it is that God is guiding each of us and all of us together. We have the blessing of being a part of a community that is moving forward. A community that says no matter who you are or where you are on life or faith journey, that you are welcome here, that you are safe here. It's what we say. It's what we believe matters. And know this 100% to be true. That will take us on a different road than we've ever traveled before. It will take us home in a new direction and on another way. In Pilgrim's Promise, John Bunyan talks about this new year. He says, "And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, 'Give me light, that I may tread safely into the unknown.' He replied, 'No, go out into the darkness and put your hand in the hand of God, and that shall be better than a light and safer than the known way.'" Amen.